Hello, everyone, and welcome to Rant and Release Friday. Now, originally tonight, or for this episode, I was going to feature a tour done of the Hell House, so everyone could see what I was going through and why I call it the Hell House. The thing is um, it's just too cold to go under the house and show you the piping. So I'm going to put that off. And I still have to see if the iPad has video capabilities. I think it has a program in there for that. So I don't get to rant about that today. I am going to rant about what has got to be the most backwards town I have ever lived in. My sadness for the town, or a percentage of the population, and my fear for my grandchildren in the future. Now, keep in mind, I have lived in Idaho, Washington, Oregon, Florida, the Florida Keys, Pittsburgh, and I'm currently living in Missouri. I drove truck all over the United States. I spent time in all 48 continental states. I stayed in some of the best truck stops to ever stay, in some of the best cities to ever stay, and I spent some time in neighborhoods where I would not go out after dark. So I have seen it all, from crack whores to pimps to being in a hotel and going to the store and it having been robbed 10 minutes earlier and somebody having been killed in the alleyway, to some very nice places. Some nice places in California, nice places in Texas. I've been to border towns. So I have seen a lot. But I live in a town where it seems everybody wants something but doesn't want to do the work for it. An example today, like on Jen's always on Facebook and she belongs to all these communities. And she sees the same people asking for I need this, I need this, I need this. She sees suckers willing to give it to them only for the people to turn around and sell it. There was one individual she saw who a month ago asked for a refrigerator, needed a refrigerator, a bed, and some other things. The following week asked for more. The following week asked for more, and this week is asking for more, yet was also seen selling the refrigerator that they got for free. That's not the first time we've seen it. We know a lady that no one will sell to anymore because she did the same thing. I watch people make excuses for not going out and getting for themselves and working for themselves, but have no problem trying to get stuff for free or trying to take advantage of the system. I see people that hold jobs and have the attitude of they're lucky I came in. Shouldn't be you're lucky that you're making a paycheck. I see people at work more interested in their iPhone than taking care of the customer that pays their salary. I see a town that is famous for somebody that was born long, long ago, and I swear to God, this town hasn't moved in any further in education because it's like they all quit in 6th grade, even though they've gotten diplomas. But then again, this is the only town I know where you can miss all but 4 days a month and still get your high school diploma. That's 4 days a month. You go 4 days a month and you can still manage to get your high school diploma. What the? Atrocious spelling. You know, I didn't know that when you go through a door, through is spelled Threw. And I've seen this more and more as I've gotten older. I've seen this I saw this in certain degrees and areas that I was. For example, in Pittsburgh, one of the businesses I managed was in a bad area. But it's gotten worse and worse over time, and in this town, it seems to be there's something in the water. What the hell? Go out and hold a job with pride. Stop making excuses. Let me give you an example. Okay. Nana Jay and I lived in housing for 2 years. Because what had happened is we'd gotten into a house fire in the house that we had. Four days later, we ended up getting the grandkids. In order to ensure that we kept the grandkids, we moved into a place that we really couldn't afford. And then we were on the waiting list for 2 years for housing, got into housing, and we both swore it was not a permanent solution. We were out of housing within 2 years. Housing is not meant to be a permanent solution. It's meant to help stable you so you can get on your feet. But you have to work to get on your feet. I know a woman that was raised in housing, and a decade after being an adult is still in housing. Not even trying to move out. Not even trying to get a job. Not even trying to make a better life for them. This same person, during summer months, or winter months, will go blow their money on things like festivals, trips out of town, tattoos. Will just blow the money. New phone. And then will bitch because for months they've been ignoring their electric bill and they got off a shut-off notice. Will go on Facebook and complain about it, how they can't get help through the system because usually by the time they get their bill, the local NECAC is out of money, and will complain about how poor them, how it's not fair. Here's an idea: pay your bills before you do something else. This same person every year uses the system for gifts, yet has the audacity to complain about the gifts that she gets. Excuse me, Christmas comes the same time every year. You have the same income coming in every year because you don't go get a job. You know what you're making. How hard is it to put money aside for Christmas or to put towards layaway instead of being so fucking cheap that you take advantage of people every year. Same thing with these kids that go out and do bad things and get fucking caught. And then they're the victim. Did you know it was wrong in the first place? Yes. I have no sympathy for you. Or the people that make excuses why I can't. This town is full of them. I just don't get it. You know? My son was bad when he was not working in Pittsburgh because he wouldn't go out and look for a minimum wage job because he felt he was better than a minimum wage job. And that's my fault because he is better than a minimum wage job. I wanted him to make more of his life. That's on me. But he still went out and looked. You get these people that don't even want to go out and look, that aren't willing to take a minimum wage job for right now, yet will borrow and take from you or from somebody's generosity, but won't even put the effort for it. I can't stand those kind of people. I can't stand the kind of people that go to work to make money, but don't want to put in any work. They want to stand around in the back talking to their friends or on their iPhones or ignoring the customers or leaving work for others because I just don't want to do it. I don't get it. And I fear for my grandchildren what the world is going to be like as they become adults with this laziness that has taken over our society. Everybody's wanting something for nothing, not willing to put the effort. What kind of people are going to be empowered by the time my grandkids become adults? I don't get it. I don't. We used to be a country that took pride in what we did, regardless of whether it was digging ditches or sitting in a congressman's office. Now it's about what I can get for nothing. God help us as a country. God help me when I'm a senior citizen. Country's going to go broke, and I'm not going to have money to take care of myself when I've deserved to be able to relax. Yes, I'm not working right now, but you think I'm fucking relaxing? I've got 3 grandkids and Nana Jay to take care of. But also, let me tell you a little fact, and I can print out my Social Security statement to prove it to you. I've been working since the age of 14. I'm now going on 50. 2018 will be the first year that I will spend a full year not working. It's 36 years I've been working. By 24, I had enough quarters in for my retirement for Social Security. I raised a child and put in extra hours. I sacrificed parent time and me time to make a way for us in this world. Don't get society today, and I don't get at least 50% of the laziness in this town. And unfortunately, I'm buying a house in this town. But I don't get it. What are we becoming as a country? Looks to me we're more moving towards a socialist type of behavior. Take care of me. Give me What happened to pride in oneself? You know, how many times have you gone in as a customer and been ignored because somebody's talking to their friend or on their phone, or somebody sees you coming and decides to head the other direction because they don't want to deal with the customer? When have you gone and got food that was subpar or service that was subpar because the person didn't take pride in their work, or more importantly, you were a burden upon their time? And ask yourself, is that the way America was? Is that what America was built upon? I don't get it. You know, it's one thing if you're a single parent and you're struggling and to ask for help once, maybe twice. But it's a completely another thing when it becomes a regular thing every year or every so many months. I raised my son, but even as a single parent, I still managed to provide. I took what job came. I've worked great jobs, I've worked shitty jobs, but I worked. I took pride. It didn't matter whether I was earning minimum wage or $15, $20 an hour. I gave the same work performance because I took pride in myself and in my work. Where is the pride in today's generations? And that's my question today. That's my rant for today. Because I go, you know, I'm watching generation, with each generation, I'm getting more about what they can get than about what they can give. And that's not the way this country became great. You know, the last job I held was at a call center, and I watched employees purposely mark themselves away, or doing this or doing that while they're sitting there talking to their friends, and then act offended when they were asked to do the job they were there to do. I had a person that sat near me. I watched her. She'd continually hang up on customers that she didn't want to deal with. You're there to deal with customers, even the jerks, even the a-holes. You know, I don't get today's mentality of give me. I know that there's sections of it in every town. You know, who's to blame for that? Is it the parents? Is it society? You know, I drive by housing, or used to on a regular basis, and I'd see brand new vehicles sitting there while I'm driving an old beat up van at the time. Okay, but you can't afford to go look for a house. You can't afford to go look for a rental that's not in housing so that somebody that needs it can be there. And I watch them cheat the system. Watch people not claim their boyfriend, girlfriend who's working and staying there so that they don't have to pay maybe $100 extra. That don't report them on their food stamps, even though they're eating their food. Don't report their financials so that they're held, you know, that they have to pay their fair share. And then get upset. We had a neighbor, good God, he worked a decent job. and she didn't report him. And they could afford, with what he was making, to be in someplace other than housing. Meanwhile, I'm talking to people that need to get into housing because they're in a bad situation or whatever, and they can't get on there for 2 years because you got people like that. You have people that that stay forever because they don't want to improve themselves or they want everything cheap. What is becoming of the U.S.? You know, I don't get it. I have medical problems and I can't even get health insurance. Yet you have people out there that are capable of working and can get on disability. I don't get it. And it makes me sick. It makes me worry. It makes me worry about what type of country are we going to be in 20 years when my grandkids are adults and I'm too old to do anything. We were a country built on pride. Pride in our work, pride in ourselves, pride in helping out those around us when they were in times of need. And now it's about what I can get without doing nothing. And that's the rant for today. Common sense. When I first started out and somebody told me to go out to the lobby and wipe down the tables, they didn't have to tell me, okay, you need to take a wet rag and a dry rag. You need to go out to the table, wipe down the table, move the stuff out, move the napkin and ketchup holders out of the way, wipe it down, put them back, dry off the table, and wipe the seats. You now have to do that. And I know you do because I've had to tell people that. Otherwise, all they'll do is wipe down the table with a wet rag and leave it sit. You leave the table all wet and not even touch the seats. You have to explain to them how to mop. You have to tell them exactly what to do or it doesn't get done. Clean the bathroom. Go in and clean the bathroom. Well, and most people in my day would know. You go in, you clean off the mirrors if they need to be cleaned, you make sure the toilet's clean, you wipe down the toilet, you sweep the floor, you mop the floor, and empty the garbage. I've told people in my career, go clean the bathroom. Walked into the bathroom, there'd be trash in the trash can, streaks on the mirror that weren't even touched because you could tell they're spots from soap, and the sink wouldn't even be wiped down. Really, where's common sense in the world today? Apparently needs to be something taught in schools because apparently people don't have common sense anymore. But then again, how can we expect schools to teach them common sense when they can't even teach them proper spelling? Push the child ahead. Let them graduate and let us have to read their atrocious posts where 50% of it's spelled completely wrong. I saw better spelling when my son was a 10-year-old than I see from adults nowadays. Maybe it's just this town. Maybe it's not. But common sense gone out the window. What are your thoughts? on today's society? What are your thoughts on the town you live in? What are your thoughts on the younger generation? Or if you're a younger generation, what are your thoughts about what you've seen? Yeah, you can take what I said as a slam against your generation, but look at the people you know and ask yourself to seriously step back and take a look. How many people do you know would rather get by abusing the systems rather than earning? How many people you know that play the victim in their life rather than taking responsibility? How many people you know can't spell a simple sentence? You know, common sense tells you put your hand on a burner, you're going to burn it. It's supposed to only take once to tell you that. Why does it seem like people have to learn 4 or 5 times and still don't get it right? My age showing, maybe. I don't think so. At least not in this town. Doesn't help. You have employees continually late, and um, you don't do anything about it. Doesn't help fix things. You have employees that take half-hour, 15-minute breaks and take an hour or 45-minute half-hour lunch, and you don't do anything. Well, how can you expect them to change? You know, society's, employers have gotten, I'm just glad to have bodies. Well, you know what? How do you expect any work if you're just happy to have bodies and the bodies may or may not come in? How do you enforce a rule? Don't no cell phones at work, and then everybody's running around with them, and you do nothing about it. How do you how do you expect? You have employees standing around talking, not paying attention to the customer, but because you're a manager or something, you're too busy to take care of that customer. How are you supposed to lead by example? I don't get it. I've watched businesses get worse because of the employees they hire are simply, they're just glad to have the body, and the bodies know it. So the bodies are going to do whatever they want. They rule the asylum, and no work gets done. Or they have friends in the workplace. So get away with things like not doing their job. Where are we going as a country? Do you think it's only going to get worse? That's the question for the day. Are we getting stupider? Lazy? Has it all become about what one can get instead of what one can give? That is the rant for this week. I'm going to release it so I don't have to worry about it. Thank God I raised my son with common sense. Thank God Nana J raised our daughter with common sense. My grandchildren will be taught accountability, common sense. They'll be taught about work. They'll be taught about you don't get something for nothing in this world. And the biggest part of that is self-esteem. But I'm going to bid everyone a good night, and we will talk at you another day.